Gute Dog, and welcome back to your PA Dutch Minute. Doug here. Today we're going to tackle an issue that we get asked a lot as Pennsylvania Dutch people, and has to do with the Amish and the Mennonite. You know, as soon as you tell someone that you're learning Pennsylvania Dutch, or that you are Pennsylvania Dutch, that you speak Pennsylvania Dutch right away, for the outsider, they want to know right away, are you Amish? Did you grow up Amish? You know, did you leave the church? And what most people outside of the Pennsylvania Dutch community don't know is that there are kind of two main branches of people that fall under the umbrella that is Pennsylvania Dutch. And we break them up into two groups, one group being the sectarians, and those are your groups like your Amish and your Mennonite and your Old Order groups, your Anabaptist groups. And then in the other category, they're called the non-sectarians. A lot of people also refer to these as the church people or the fancy Dutch. Amish and Mennonite being plain Dutch, and the church groups being the fancy Dutch. And the two largest groups that make up that group would be Lutherans and what were called the Reformed Church. Today it's the United Church of Christ, the UCC. You know, years ago, Pennsylvania Dutch country, that was the majority of the population. If you were not Amish or Mennonite, if you were not sectarian, then you were non-sectarian, and most likely you were Lutheran or Reformed. There were some Catholic Pennsylvania Dutch, there still are, but those are the big groups. So we have the church Dutch, the Lutherans and the Reforms, the people that are not Amish and Mennonite, and then we have the group that are the Amish and the Mennonite, the sectarians versus non-sectarians. Both groups speak Pennsylvania Dutch, the dialect that, you know, we're talking about here. There are some minor differences between the two groups linguistically, but for the most part, they are completely intelligible to each other. If I speak Pennsylvania Dutch with someone that's Amish, I usually have absolutely no problem understanding them. They have very little problem understanding me. Really, where the differences are today is that among the, and this is, I'm going to get a little grammar on you here, but in the non plain people, so the Lutherans and the UCC, the group that I'm in, and probably a lot of you out there in internet land would fall into, we have maintained a part of the language which is called the dative case. And I'm not going to go into what that is, but it's a part of the language grammatically where the Amish and the Mennonite groups have dropped that over the years. So there's one difference linguistically. But as far as the language goes, if you're watching these videos so that you can talk to your Amish neighbor or that you can engage with Amish people in your community, you should have no issues at all. There might be a word here or there that they say differently than what I'm teaching, but that's basically because of the two groups. But seriously, for the most part, it's completely intelligible to each other. So there are Pennsylvania Dutch people that are not Amish and not Mennonite. And, you know, it's kind of difficult for most people outside of Pennsylvania Dutch country to know that or understand that, because what's always been portrayed as the Pennsylvania Dutch has been the image of a horse and buggy, the Amish, etc., especially, you know, coming from Lancaster County. But there's a huge community of Pennsylvania Dutch in Berks County and Lebanon and Lehigh and Northampton and other counties too in southeastern PA, Montgomery and Bucks and Chester, that, you know, we're not Amish and Mennonite. So hopefully that cleared that issue up. Just know that there are Pennsylvania Dutch that are not Amish and Mennonite. Me, for example, and all of my relatives, and probably people you know too, maybe you yourself. So now you're a little bit more informed. Hopefully you can use that information if somebody asks you that question now, so you can tell the difference between what is Pennsylvania Dutch in regards to who those two groups are. So there's your Pennsylvania Dutch Minute. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. And if you ever have any questions or concerns, please feel free to email me. My information's on the last card there at the end of the video. Max gut!